Hello and welcome. We are continuing our NFL preview series going through all 32 teams in the run up to the kickoff of the 2024 season, which will be Thursday, September 5th. Today, I'm continuing in the AFC North, looking at the team that finished second. That was the Cleveland Browns. In 2023, they were a fun team, thanks in part to their defense and a timely veteran performance. For the second year in a row, they only got 6 games out of quarterback Deshaun Watson, despite that huge guaranteed contract he signed prior to the 2022 season. But their stout defense and veteran Joe Flacco kept them in the game. They won 11 games, made the playoffs. Flacco even earned NFL Comeback Player of the Year honors. But the dream season for the Browns crashed back to reality with a wild card loss to the Texans. Now they're hoping to see a little bit more of Watson as they go into 2024. Flacco departed this offseason, took a similar position behind Anthony Richardson for the Colts. But the Browns didn't wait long to come up with an answer. They saw last year how important it is to have a quality person behind Deshaun Watson. So they brought in Jameis Winston and former Ravens player Tyler Huntley. Both of them add to the depth of the quarterback room, but quarterback wasn't the only place where they tried to make a splash. They also tried to protect themselves at running back, adding Nyheim Hines and Deonta Foreman. They added linebacker depth in Hicks and Devin Bush. And in the draft, they focused quite heavily on the tackles. They got Michael Hall and guard Zach Zinner. Their biggest offensive acquisition this offseason was trading for Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Jeudy caught 211 passes for 3,053 yards and 11 touchdowns in his 4 years with Denver. What kind of an impact will he make on the Browns? But I think a lot of that begins as we look at their fantasy prospects with what we get out of number 4, and that is Deshaun Watson. They also have questions in the backfield, but we'll kick off with quarterback. Watson is the starter. His massive guaranteed contract confirms that, but due to injuries and off-field issues, as I mentioned, they've only gotten 12 starts from him in 2 years. Can he be more available and maybe more successful? That's really the question. The Browns are hoping that's the case. They did hedge their bets with those backups, but I think he will be more available, more productive. I think we will see him more than 6 games. I'm cautiously optimistic. I view him as a mid to low QB2, though. I think the Browns are still a run-first team. In the backfield, the Browns return Nick Chubb, but he's coming off another major injury. He started the camp on the PUP list, and I think he may be out or at least slowed early in the season. Jerome Ford led the backfield last year and finished as RB16. I think he figures to lead that ground unit again as Chubb comes back up to speed. I have him finishing in the RB3-4 range for the season, but he could be an RB2, I think, while Chubb is out or limited. They added Deonta Foreman for depth. He recently got injured, a little bit of a neck injury. That bears watching to see if that slows him or how much he is available. Among the wide receivers, I still like Amari Cooper. He is really underrated. He finished as wide receiver 20 in 2023. I think he's still the number 1. I like him as a wide receiver 2. Other than Jerry Jeudy, they have Elijah Moore, who made a splash last year, and tight end David Njoku. I thought Njoku was really good. He finished as tight end 6 last year. I still like him as the number 2 option in the passing game and a tight end 1. Jeudy and Moore, I think, will be competing for targets. I think they'll be frustrating for us in fantasy at times. I don't think either finishes higher than a wide receiver 5. So what about the Browns in 2024? They won 11 games, made the playoffs last year. I think they still have a really good defense and some good pieces on offense. I think the struggle for them is the AFC North in particular, and the AFC in general are very tough. I actually think this is a loaded division where all 4 teams will finish above 500. That makes it very tough. I think the Browns will win 9 or 10 games and be in the mix for the playoffs, but I wouldn't be surprised if they fall just a little short. Well, that'll wrap it up for me with the Browns. Check back as I continue through the preview series.